The skies just changed forever. The State Route 72 Lancer is real, faster, deadlier, and invisible to your radar. America's next-gen warbird is no longer secret. It's a warning. In a jaw-dropping leap into future American air dominance, the United States has officially begun testing its most elusive, most powerful, and most secretive aircraft to date, the upgraded State Route 72 Lancer, the so-called son of Blackbird. And this time, it's faster, deadlier, and smarter than anything the world has ever seen. The skies trembled as a hangar door slid open at a classified test facility deep in the desert, and for the first time, the world caught a glimpse of the upgraded beast that military insiders are calling the future of American warfare. Sleek, sharp, and dark as the edge of night, the new State Route 72 emerged with a roar that shook the earth itself. Born from the legendary legacy of the State Route 71 Blackbird, a reconnaissance jet so fast the Soviets couldn't catch it and radar couldn't follow it. The State Route 72 isn't just a successor. It's a quantum leap. With a top speed exceeding Mach 6, the new Lancer isn't merely flying. It's blazing to the sky at nearly 4,600 miles per hour, fast enough to outrun every missile, every radar lock, and every hostile threat that dares to look up. But speed is only the beginning. This isn't the Blackbird of the Cold War. This is the future of autonomous hypersonic warfare, armed with cutting-edge AI, next-gen stealth materials, and propulsion systems straight out of science fiction. The SR-72's massive upgrade centers around a revolutionary turbine-based combined cycle engine, a hybrid that allows the jet to take off like a traditional fighter and then transition seamlessly into hypersonic mode. Once airborne, the dual-mode ramjet kicks in, and the aircraft becomes nearly untouchable. Enemy radar systems don't even have time to register its presence before it's gone, vanish into thin air like a ghost moving faster than the speed of sound. And while the original State Route 72 design was thought to be unarmed, the upgraded version changes the game. Now equipped with hypersonic strike capabilities, the Lancer can deploy next-gen air-to-ground missiles, kinetic warheads, or even EMP payloads to neutralize enemy infrastructure from thousands of miles away within minutes. This aircraft isn't just a spy. It's a hunter. According to Pentagon insiders, the State Route 72 will play a critical role in both intelligence gathering and first strike operations in any potential conflict with peer adversaries like China or Russia. In simulated scenarios, the Lancer has been used to penetrate dense air defense networks, take out command and control hubs, and return without ever being seen. Its stealth profile, enhanced by radar-absorbing skin made from advanced carbon composites and metamaterials, allows it to fly practically invisible at high altitudes. It reflects virtually no heat signature, and its cross-section on enemy radar is smaller than a bird. During its recent test flights over the Pacific and Nevada testing ranges, military analysts tracking the aircraft were stunned by its performance. Ground stations lost lock within seconds of detection. Satellite surveillance systems could only capture brief heat trails as it streaked across the atmosphere. One defense analyst described it as watching the future tear through the present. And here's where it gets even more exciting. The State Route 72 is also rumored to be drone compatible. That's right. This aircraft could deploy high-speed stealth drones at hypersonic velocities, giving commanders eyes in the sky even deeper into enemy territory, or allowing for swarm-style strikes coordinated by onboard AI. This isn't just one aircraft. It's a hypersonic command center. And make no mistake, the global balance of power is shifting because of it. As China ramps up its J-20 stealth fighter production and Russia develops hypersonic glide vehicles like the Avangard, the United States is playing a smarter, faster game. Rather than matching aircraft for aircraft, the U.S. has gone above and beyond, literally, by developing a platform that can perform recon, deliver strikes, and evade everything from surface-to-air missiles to satellite tracking. It's so fast that it can complete a mission and return before the enemy even launches a counterattack. And while most countries are still trying to master fifth-generation stealth fighters, the State Route 72 operates in a sixth-generation hypersonic regime, rewriting the very playbook of modern warfare. The Lancer is built for the battles of tomorrow, AI-integrated, hypersonically armed, and autonomous capable. It uses predictive flight algorithms to avoid threats before they occur, changing altitude and heading in microseconds. It's smart enough to adapt to mid-mission changes and can be controlled either remotely, autonomously, or via secure, high-speed uplink to command centers. And here's the part that sends shivers down the spines of America's enemies. The State Route 72 is being tested for space access capabilities. That means the potential to launch small satellites, deploy anti-satellite payloads, or act as a high-speed carrier for orbital vehicles. The Space Force is watching closely, and many believe the Lancer will serve as a cornerstone platform for near-space dominance. With Lockheed Martin Skunk Works leading development and DARPA closely involved, this program has evolved under a cloak of silence for over a decade. Billions of dollars in black budget spending have gone into making it real, and now, with real-world testing underway, its time has come. The exact number of units being built remains classified, but sources suggest a limited operational squadron is in the pipeline by 2028, with early combat readiness by 2030. That's closer than you think, and closer than America's rivals would like. Already, spy satellites and foreign cyber units are scrambling for a peek at the aircraft specs. But they're too late. The State Route 72 is flying now, and it's already rewriting the rules of global air power. And it's not just about speed or stealth. It's about deterrence. The very existence of the Lancer sends a message to adversaries. If you even think about challenging U.S. interests, we'll be over your airspace before you can blink. We'll see everything. We'll strike anywhere. And you'll never see us coming. This isn't science fiction. This is America's newest, boldest response to a rapidly evolving world, where speed is survival and intelligence is dominance. The State Route 72 Lancer represents not just a new chapter in aviation history, but an entirely new genre. It is the tip of the spear in a war that may never be fought with tanks and boots, but with drones, data, and dominance from above. And while the rest of the world still plays catch-up, the U.S. is soaring ahead, faster than sound, higher than threats, and deadlier than doubt. Welcome to the age of the Super State Route 72 Lancer, the most advanced aircraft ever tested, and the future of American supremacy in the skies. And just when the world thought it couldn't get any more intense, the revelation surrounding the SR-72's latest testing cycle took things to an entirely new level. Because according to military sources close to the program, the upgraded Lancer is not just a standalone platform, but the nucleus of a larger, integrated strike ecosystem, a new breed of warfare where speed, AI, and orbital supremacy converge into a terrifying ballet of precision and power. The aircraft is now being tested in live joint operations with F-35s, RQ-180 stealth drones, and next-generation satellite relays, all synchronized to the Pentagon's new battlefield nervous system, JDC-2, the Joint All-Domain Command and Control Network. This means the State Route 72 doesn't just operate at hypersonic speeds. It communicates at the speed of thought, relaying recon data, targeting solutions, and battlefield conditions to every asset in the air, sea, and space within microseconds. In one test simulation, the Lancer was tasked with penetrating a hypothetical adversary's airspace, identifying mobile missile launchers, uploading coordinates to a drone swarm, and rerouting to a secondary recon target, all before enemy radar systems could scramble an alert. It succeeded flawlessly. In another classified demonstration, the aircraft simulated a non-nuclear electromagnetic pulse delivery, disabling enemy communications across a simulated war zone without firing a single traditional weapon. The implications are staggering. We're not just talking about a fast aircraft. We're talking about a ghost that strikes from beyond visibility, crippling enemy infrastructure before anyone knows what happened. And what's more, the SR-72's upgraded frame has undergone a complete redesign for sustained hypersonic flight, now using high-temperature composite alloys and actively cooled surfaces that can withstand the extreme thermal loads generated at Mach 6 plus speeds. Engineers revealed that the new material systems are so advanced that they've rendered traditional airframe fatigue modeling obsolete, with adaptive skin panels that adjust in real time to airflow and heat conditions, effectively allowing the jet to reshape itself mid-flight for maximum efficiency and stealth. Add to this the AI co-pilot, and the State Route 72 is not just fast, it's alive. The onboard AI doesn't just assist with navigation. It learns from every mission, adapting tactics and flight behavior with every sortie. It can simulate thousands of potential threat scenarios in real time and autonomously decide the best course of action with or without pilot input. In fact, some variant of the State Route 72 may be fully unmanned, designed for high-risk strike missions deep into contested airspace where even a manned fighter wouldn't dare to fly. There are even whispers of quantum communication systems being tested on the Lancer, ultra-secure links that can be jammed, intercepted, or spoofed, allowing it to operate with full connectivity in even the most contested electronic warfare environments. This tech, still in its early stages, would make the Lancer a command node that's untraceable, able to direct drones, fighters, and space assets with complete battlefield dominance. And the numbers don't lie. The Lancer is pushing the outer edges of human engineering. Imagine, from launch to mission completion and return, the State Route 72 could theoretically strike a target 2,000 miles away and return to base in under an hour. No air-to-air refueling, no ground stop, no escort. It arrives, eliminates the threat, and vanishes like a myth. That's not just power. That's psychological warfare. It sends a message. We see you, we can reach you, and we don't need permission to do so. And the test results? They've been nothing short of astonishing. Flight engineers reported 95% mission efficiency across hundreds of flight simulations. Autonomous strike scenarios perform better than manned equivalents. Live-fire trials of prototype hypersonic missiles launched from the Lancer demonstrated guidance and impact accuracy within a meter at Mach 5. Analysts believe these capabilities could shift the entire structure of global military deterrence. No longer is it about how many jets you can put in the air, but how fast, how smart, and how untouchable your few elite assets are. China's H-20 stealth bomber and Russia's Tu-160 may look impressive on paper, but neither comes close to the speed, stealth, and strike precision of the State Route 72. And while those nations are still building squadrons of fifth-gen jets, the U.S. is sprinting into sixth-generation dominance and beyond. In fact, Lockheed Martin has already begun referring to the State Route 72 internally as part of the Beyond Next series of combat platforms, aircraft that will define the battlefield of 2040 and beyond. This suggests that the State Route 72 is just the first of several systems that will include orbital bombers, AI drone hives, and space-based hypersonic missile platforms, all of which could be deployed from or controlled by Lancer-type platforms. These assets are not just future-proof. They are future-defining. This is why military analysts across NATO, Asia, and even U.S. adversaries are now watching the skies with unease. Because if even a fraction of what the State Route 72 is capable of is real, and it is, then the global balance of power is undergoing a radical shift in favor of the United States. This new era of warfare won't be won by brute force or numbers, but by speed, intelligence, and strategic dominance at all altitudes. And no one plays that game better than America. And while details remain classified, insiders confirm that a handful of Lancer prototypes have already completed full operational drills, including takeoffs from undisclosed air bases in the Pacific, joint surveillance missions over the Arctic, and even suborbital speed trials monitored by Space Force assets. Some claim that footage of the State Route 72 has already been mistaken for UFOs. Its performance is that surreal. One pilot described seeing it streak across the sky, leaving behind only a faint ripple in the clouds and a distorted, shimmering contrail as it vanished beyond the horizon. And perhaps most astonishingly, the Lancer's developers believe it could eventually replace entire categories of aircraft. Recon? Covered. Strike missions? Done. Space payload delivery? In the works. Carrier launch variants? Rumored. This is not a one-purpose jet. This is a strategic Swiss Army knife at hypersonic speeds. With the ability to rewrite mission parameters on the fly, deploy precision munitions, jam enemy sensors, and command a network of unmanned allies, the State Route 72 represents not just a leap in aviation, but the dawn of a new multi-domain battlefield, land, air, sea, space, and cyber, all connected, all responsive, and all spearheaded by the Lancer. As tensions flare in the Indo-Pacific, Eastern Europe, and the Arctic, the presence of such a weapon changes the geopolitical landscape. The very knowledge that the State Route 72 could be airborne, and you wouldn't know until it's too late, is enough to deter aggression. And that's the point. As one Pentagon official put it, you don't deploy a ghost to fight. You deploy it so no one dares to fight at all. That's the true power of the State Route 72 Lancer, not just in how fast it flies, but in what it represents. the future already in flight. But what truly sets the State Route 72 Lancer apart in the vast arena of modern warfare is not just its unmatched speed, stealth, or sensory capabilities. It's a strategic mindset behind its development, the bold signal that the United States will never be outpaced, outgunned, or outclassed when it comes to defending freedom on a global scale. The Lancer doesn't merely fly. It dominates, redefines the rules, and operates in an entirely new tier of aerospace supremacy. Defense analysts have already started referring to it as America's first preemptive shadow, a platform so fast and elusive that traditional methods of detection, engagement, and defense crumble before it can even be tracked. In war games involving hostile radar networks and integrated anti-air defense systems modeled after near-peer adversaries, the State Route 72 not only infiltrated without detection, but completed mission objectives and returned to friendly territory without triggering a single alarm, something that was considered science fiction just a decade ago. In terms of power projection, the Lancer is transforming the very notion of response time in military terms. It's no longer about hours or even minutes. It's about seconds. When a crisis breaks out, while other nations scramble jets, prep carriers, or deploy submarines, the United States can already have a State Route 72 on station, gathering live recon, selecting critical targets, and queuing up hypersonic strikes that can render an enemy base inoperable before they even know what hit them. Think about that. An adversary launches a missile or mobilizes tanks, and before their forces receive the next set of orders, their command post is already a crater. That's not retaliation. That's proactive peace enforcement. And as the State Route 72 enters more advanced testing phases, its potential use cases are expanding rapidly. There's already growing discussion in Congress and the Pentagon about equipping future Lancer variants with directed energy weapons, including airborne lasers capable of neutralizing enemy drones, satellites, or even incoming hypersonic missiles mid-flight. If successful, this would not only make the State Route 72 untouchable, it would make it protector of every other American asset in contested zones, a flying shield that obliterates threats at the speed of light. Beyond its battlefield role, the State Route 72 is also being eyed for intelligence gathering missions of unprecedented depth. With its altitude ceiling surpassing 100,000 feet and onboard AI capable of analyzing real-time data streams from hundreds of miles away, the Lancer is expected to play a major role in monitoring global hotspots, tracking missile developments, and observing naval movements in regions like the South China Sea, the Baltic, and the Arctic with pinpoint precision. Its onboard systems can intercept electronic signals, track heat signatures from hundreds of miles, and even spot underground bunkers using advanced ground-penetrating sensors. These capabilities, combined with its nearly undetectable flight path, make it the ultimate spy, scout, and strike aircraft rolled into one seamless, breathtaking machine. And perhaps most astonishing of all, there are rumors, unconfirmed but persistent, that a space launch-capable variant of the State Route 72 is under deep development. This model, leveraging the aircraft's incredible speed and altitude, could deliver microsatellites into low orbit or even deploy kinetic orbital weapons, a strategic game-changer that would give the U.S. rapid satellite deployment capability during a time of war. In a future where space is contested, the State Route 72 could serve as the ultimate first strike platform, not just across continents, but across the sky and into the stars. Make no mistake, the Lancer is not just a fighter jet. It is a symbol of a future military doctrine where agility beats armor, speed conquers distance, and intelligence outperforms brute strength. It's an era where wars aren't won by who has the most ships or the largest army, but by who can see the battlefield first, strike first, and vanish before anyone knows where to strike back. And right now, the United States is leading that charge at Mach 6 and climbing. With its tests accelerating and its upgrades pushing the limits of physics, the State Route 72 is almost ready for full operational deployment. And when it is, the geopolitical landscape will never be the same. Countries that once felt secure behind distance, terrain, or alliances will have to reassess. Because distance, as the State Route 72 proves, no longer protects anyone. In fact, military insiders say that part of the Lancer's next testing phase includes carrier integration, not for traditional sea-based launch, but as a communications and recon relay hub that will allow deployed fleets to receive direct hypersonic recon from anywhere on the planet. Imagine a U.S. Navy carrier group in the Indian Ocean making real-time strike decisions based on data the Lancer collected 10,000 miles away and transmitted within seconds. This is strategic dominance redefined. Meanwhile, U.S. allies are watching with awe and anticipation, eager to learn whether the Lancer platform or a downgraded variant might be available for joint use within Five Eyes nations or key NATO members. There's talk of Britain, Australia, and Japan already requesting cooperative integration protocols, allowing their defense networks to plug into Lancer's AI and recon feeds during joint ops. If approved, this would forge an even tighter bond between America and its allies, creating a virtual shield of intelligence and precision strike capability around the free world. But make no mistake, the Lancer will never be fully exported. Its core systems, propulsion mechanisms, AI software, and stealth configurations are being guarded more closely than any aircraft in U.S. history. Not even the F-22 was this protected. Why? Because the Lancer isn't just a weapon. It's a national crown jewel, a strategic ace, a technological Excalibur forged not only to defend, but to dissuade, to outthink, outfly, and outlast every threat to freedom across the globe. So the next time the world sees a strange, shimmering blur streak across the upper atmosphere, slicing the sky in utter silence before vanishing into space, don't assume it's a satellite or a UFO. It might just be the State Route 72 Lancer, already completing a mission you'll never hear about, striking a target you'll never see, and keeping the peace in a way only America can. This is not just the future of aerial warfare. This is the future of American power, unleashed. And the sky? That's just the starting line.